You guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. How are you guys doing? Here for a quick preview. Someone messaged in the Discord asking if they were doing a live today or if there's any live stream previews going on. And I looked at the message. I thought, I've had a long day. I've been to my cousin's wedding, but why not? Let's do this. Let's get, a nice little 20, 30 minutes out maximum. I don't have the energies to do more than that. But thank you to the 9 people that are in here. And I think Anthony from Inter Worldwide will be dropping in to say hi at some point in the next few minutes as well. I told him in the Discord if he wants to come in, he can come in. Eric G in the house. Let me give a shout out to the people. He's feeling confident. Acerbi to score the winning goal. You heard it here first. Well, Eric G, weirdly, according to the Sky Sport Italia predicted lineups, Acerbi is getting a rest. And I think he is probably overdue a rest because he started in Bastoni's position last game. Played, he's been playing as a starter as well. So he probably needs to be rotated quite rightly at his age with Bastoni coming back in. But that would be, I'll remember Eric G if he does score the winning goal. 3-1, get revenge. Yeah, Colombo, 100%. Udinese, Inter. 3-1, wasn't it, last time round? Not good. That was probably one of the worst results of this season. And I remember very strongly making my post-match reaction to that. And I thought that's probably the closest I've got to being Inzaghi out this whole, year and a half of Inzaghi. That was the closest. That was close. I was starting to think of alternatives. I thought, has he lost the dressing room? Remember, that was the match where Bastoni threw a bit of a tantrum when he got subbed off at halftime. Not at halftime. It was like 30 minutes in. Him and Mkhitaryan got subbed off. Weird match, awful match. But Barella scored a gem of a free kick. That was the only positive that game. Good evening to you as well, Dropic. And we've got Jono as well from Anthony's Ends, of course, in Aussie land. Balkan Warrior coming in with a lot of positivity, saying he can see a draw. Yeah, I mean, Napoli, Dropic, we know the deal with Napoli. They're just unstoppable at the moment. At the start of the season, what is going on? Why has my internet really been doing that? It's pretty upgraded it just a few weeks ago. Annoying. Apologies, guys. I can see the latency bar just dropping there. But yeah, look at that. Napoli. Unbelievable. I thought there was no super team, but it turns out there is a super team in this league, and it is Napoli. Even if we were playing well, we wouldn't be catching them up, but we shouldn't be as far as we are. But it's a statement to the rest of the Serie A, just as much as a statement to the greatness of Napoli. But yeah, it is what it is. What's up, Matteo? Hope you are doing well. Danzo Aslani, yeah, well, bro, since Brozovic is back, his time is going to be less and less, unfortunately, mate. He was supposed to be the vice Brozovic, but then Hakan stepped up as the vice Brozovic. Some people maybe even say that he's better than Brozovic in that role. So that means his time is going to be less and less and less as things go on. What's up, Giovanni? Hope you are doing well. Sharif is in the house. I'm at the San Siro tomorrow. Oh, wow. Very nice. Very nice. First time since COVID. Wish me luck. Yeah. Hope you bring us luck. And here is a guy that brings me always some good luck. I've been creating content with this guy for a long while. It's been a while since we linked up, but here he is. My brother from the other side of the world, literally.
It's great to see you, bro. I don't know how I bring you luck, man. I can't even bring myself luck. What are you talking about, bro?
I don't know. I feel like you do. I feel like you bring me luck. I just you give me positive vibes anyway.
It's good to see you, man. Really, really, really do miss you, bro. I was gonna say before we get started talking, there's this awesome channel, this Napoli fan called Shale Boom. I don't know how to say it. He's got like 500k. It's an Italian reaction channel. I'll link it to you. You got to check it out. They're really funny, man. It's a bunch of like diehard Napoli tifosi, man. Like they go off, and yeah, imagine being a Napoli fan at the moment, man. Like, bro, how are you stopping this train? It's never ending. There's no stop in sight.
Yeah, I've never visited Napoli, but I'm half tempted to like book a flight for like May or something. Just
Straight up, man.
to feel the vibes, man. Because unfortunately we didn't get to feel those when we won the Scudetto with the Covidetto.
Yeah. Would have you made the trip across to Milan if you could have for that year for
100%.
sure?
Yeah, it's not far
Yeah.
from me. It's only like
Nah.
2-hour flight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
See,
obviously for you it's like a big commitment, but for me
I've
it's not
always
that.
had like this sort of nightmare that like I'd make the trip across one day when we're like 9 to 10 points clear, get there, and we just bomb it, and I'm 26,000 kilometers away from home, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, you would be that like right now. Even if you were a Napoli fan, you would be like, I'm not booking my ticket until it's secured. You and your
Oh, man.
anti-jinx tendencies.
Yeah, but it's really good to see you, brother. How you feeling for this one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Udinese, they're a weird team. Like when we played them, they were like the second coming of Pep's Barcelona.
Yeah.
But since that match, I think they've been just like pretty average, and they've just fallen into mid-table where we expected them to be at the beginning of the season. But they're always a tough little team to play. But I think I'm confident to get a win at home anyway. What do you think?
Well, that's the key factor, man. Like we're two different teams this season when it comes to home and away. Like we could go, we're just going to go away to any team and stink the place up because, there's just that little bit of extra mental strength that requires you to travel, get focused, get in the zone individually and coherently as a squad.
Yeah.
And at the moment, we just look like passengers, if you know what I mean. Like at home, it's sort of routine. We play.
Whoa, wait.
It says Campioni
Oh,
for the 19th title. What the hell, bro?
No,
Like,
but you saw the 19th.
I can't believe it.
Say is like I would be
signed by Matrix. Oh man, that would have been hilarious. Just rocking up with a Correa jersey in the background. That's funny. That's a good comment. Oh man, but no, definitely not.
Tommy's having a beer at the office. What have you been doing today, Anthony?
Well, it's 8:30 in the morning now,
What
but like
have
as
you
you
been
can
doing,
see,
Anthony?
I look absolutely gross right now. So I'm just pretty much in the garden, walking the dog, exercising, and then I've got to visit some family soon. So I try to do as much as possible early in the morning on my Saturday so I can enjoy the rest of the day. But yeah, how you doing on this Friday Eve? How you doing on this Friday Eve?
Yeah, I had my cousin's wedding today. So yeah, enjoyed some good Indian food and vibes.
Ooh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Some good Indian food and dancing is always fun, bro.
Yeah, you know it. I'm sure you've
I know
it.
Yeah. I'm one of those guys that after a few drinks at these parties, everyone's look at him. Look at him. Look at the white boy with all the courage.
I can see you being that
guy. I wanted to ask you, like, with Deulofeu out of this team, where do you think the threats are going to come from Udinese? Do you think if we can just lock down those long balls or those square balls to Beto and maybe lock down Pereira's forward play, we should be all right?
Yeah, I mean, without Deulofeu, they're really. I mean, yeah, that's also a reason why they've not been good. I think he's out for the season now. I read actually, which is a big shame.
April at least.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the whole season done for him. Then, he's like their main catalyst. So, yeah, Pereira's also decent, but like, yeah, not nowhere near the same threat level. The guy I would watch out for is Samazic, the number 24 in midfield. I really like him.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna move to a bigger team. If not this summer, then next summer. Like he's really, really talented, amazing left foot. So he's the guy I would watch out for. What about you?
Destiny Udogie gives me really stressful vibes as well, man, because how many times do we let wide players with pace pick the ball up, look up and just say, oh, look, I've got space for days. I might as well cut in here, pass it there, do everything anywhere. Like on our transition defensively this season, we are susceptible to just hanging back and sort of waiting for mistakes or waiting for inappropriate uses of the ball from the opposition. But we are so susceptible to mistakes ourselves that kind of always has the counteracting effect at the moment. But like, as you said, we're at home. I expect us to win this game. And I'm not going to come here and say, oh, it's going to be 1-1 or we're going to lose just for the hell of being pessimistic. Because even if I was to do a preview on my own channel, I really still expect us to get this win 2-1. Or 1-0 or 2-1 or just anything. We're just going to have to find a way. Like you can see sort of Toro pulling 1 or 2 goals out of his ass in this game to spare his blushes, because since he's come back from the World Cup, he has been good. I'm not going to sit here and say like just because his game against Sampdoria was ass that he's been horrible since the World Cup.
Yeah, I think I would say him, Rashford, and like a few other guys since the World Cup. They've been like probably the best informed players in Europe.
Oh, Rashford's been ridiculous since the World Cup, man. And I'll be really interested to see how the team dynamics go in this game, because if we're the best thing to do in this game, and I can't believe I'm saying this because my God, I've slung so much hate on him in the last 2 weeks, even more than usual. But you sort of have to start Lukaku in this game.
There it is.
You have to start him in this game, or else his precious feelings are just going to never come back from this ever again. So, I get it, Droppage. I do. And trust me, I am Eden Dzeko. Like, I'm probably he's the only player that I get on the back of a jersey at the end of this season. Now, even if he left, I'd be like, that's a collector's item right there. Point collector, 28 point collector. But you have to start Lukaku in this game, because you need to give him a couple more chances to perform in fixtures where it's okay to give him that risk. Me personally, I think it's a huge risk to start Dzeko in this one and then start Lukaku against Porto. To me, that's a recipe for disaster. You need to play Lukaku into confidence. I don't care if he scores off his right ass cheek in this game, Raul. Just have a good game, Rom. Have one good game. Pick up some momentum, please, because you have not picked up momentum from, like, I think it was you that reminded me last time we linked up. It was Lecce. Match day 1. The guy did not, the whistle had not gone for the start of the season, and he was off the mark. And we're all there, doing the thing, bro. We're like, yes, it's happening. It's not happening.
Gazzetta seems to have the same lineup as Sky Sports. So it looks like it's Bilula again. As I said, I agree with you. Lukaku, like I've always said, like there's no point bringing this guy on as a substitute, because I think he's as most dangerous to your own team when you bring him on as a sub, because his touch is just like like he takes ages to get going in general. Whereas Dzeko is like able to make an instant impact, unlike him.
What's the turnaround between this and Porto? Because that'll probably dictate if we're going to see Brozovic from the start or not.
I think it's Tuesday. Well, for me, it's Tuesday. For you,
I know I've
read.
No,
Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay. I know I read he's going to start Brozo, but I'm more inclined to think he'll start him for the Porto game.
Well, he's not started. I doubt he'll start him straight in the Champions League game.
Yeah, I guess so.
Again, similar to Lukaku, I think this is the good game to like get him minutes, get minutes under his legs. And get going, because he was supposed to start last game, and then he changed his mind last minute. All the predicted lineups had Brozo starting, and then he started Hakan and Mkhitaryan as usual.
Yeah. Do we have anybody unavailable?
Matty Dams or Dumfries? Because the Sky Sport had Dumfries.
Brother, I am team Matty Dams all day, every day of the week. Udinese, Milan, Real Madrid, World 11.
I would start Dumfries against Porto, though. I think he's got that more European profile, like to hurt teams. In Champions League,
for sure. And Porto's not going to be a team that just sits back and shows us copious amounts of respect. They're going to go for it, especially at the Dragao, which is not the first game though, is it? First one's at San Siro.
Yeah, first one's San Siro. By the way, guys, make sure you keep a lookout on the channel. Monday, I'm doing a preview with some Porto fans on the channel.
Nice. English-speaking Porto fan channel, is it, or like a Twitter account?
Yeah, well, they cover like the Portuguese league in general. So
that's mad. Yeah, that's dope. Well done. I'll be there for that for sure. I'll be there in the comments. I think that we'll do. I think Inzaghi's got his one eye on that game already, man. And like, what do you make of the Inzaghi criticism about him handling of small games? Because like I've been vocal, bro. Like the way I think about it is this, man. You can't have 23 chances and blame the manager. It just doesn't work like that for me. And I struggle to find the side of the argument that does work like that. I'm more than open to hearing people's criticisms of everyone. I'm a very pessimistic person. If you've got something to blame, I'll listen to you. But I can't for the life of me sit here and blame Inzaghi for the poor performance against Sampdoria. I can't blame him for the drop points to Monza. Obviously can't blame him for Empoli considering what happened in the first half. Or maybe you could argue that his selections were a little bit dubious. But even for the Sampdoria game, in what world shouldn't Lukaku and Gosens do the same job that Dzeko and Di Marco are doing? Are we even listening to the words coming out of our mouth? Imagine I said this a year ago. Oh, crap. We should have started Di Marco and Dzeko over Gosens and Lukaku. It's two completely different conversations in terms of how we view these particular players. So I can't blame Inzaghi for the lack of finishing and the lack of intensity against these smaller sides, because I do believe he's going into each game saying we have to win this. We have to win this. this is a very important game. But
yeah, no, 100%, bro. It was confusing to see the Curva Nord like statement regarding that. Like, usually they don't really make statements about the manager, so that was a bit weird. And the whole media, like I've seen in Italy, there's been a shift recently. Like, some people say it's kind of like this is the Marotta, propaganda machine to like, this is warming up for something in the summer. This is how, there's something cooking in the background. So yeah, I think I agree with you. It's harsh. But at the same time, I think we shouldn't forget, like, this is still at the interbench, so the standards are high.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this Napoli team is performing but even if we were performing well, we would never perform to this level. But we shouldn't be this far away from them. We shouldn't be 16 points off.
Yep.
So that's definitely, worth the criticism. But then he balances it out with his Champions League and Coppa Italia and like all the other stuff that he does.
I really like that comment from Victor underneath the one that you've got on screen. It's not necessarily only Inzaghi. Even Acerbi has said the players are arrogant. Now, I want people in the chat to think back to our first couple of drop points for the season where the players actually had to have a meeting with themselves and say, all right, guys, can we just...
How many of those meetings have they had as well, bro, this season?
Well, this is just the thing. Like, yes, it's so easy to say that Inzaghi, this wouldn't happen if there wasn't a Conte, if there wasn't a drill sergeant. But at the same time, my blame now has to go on these professional athletes. Like, the transitional period is over. You got dumped. She's with somebody else now. Just deal with it, bro. Delete him.
Conte's widows are so annoying as well.
It's it, bro. It's it. And I'm a huge fan, and I spoke about it on my channel the first maybe 3 or 4 months that he left. I'm like, you will see the differences in the first season for sure. But Inzaghi proved that he can get this team over the line mentally, especially if he had some players that were ready to level up. It's not fair to ask players like Alexis Sanchez, like Arturo Vidal, like Edin Dzeko, like Ivan Perisic. It's not fair to ask players in this age bracket at this part of their career to carry the likes, the prospects, the prodigies of, I'm not really going to say Barella, but he's still sort of in that bracket, to carry the likes of Bastoni, to make sure the likes of Lukaku and Lautaro are at that level. Like, there's just so many little scenarios in the season where I'm like, and the season before we're like, Perisic saved our ass. Alexa saved our ass. Dzeko saved our ass. And now we're just looking here at even Matteo Darmian for how many seasons? And Acerbi as well. The unsung heroes in this team are being asked to shift mountains, shift planets, just to keep us above float, above level. Yeah. And all the players that we sort of banked on to be our core, to carry us into the next dimension, are either stagnant, trying really hard but not getting there, or just flat out letting us down.
Agreed. And at the same time, like, the management, like, people say that, Suning are maybe being too harsh, but at the same time, you have to look at, like, if we look at the wage like league table, we're still the second highest paid team after Juve. Yep. So I'm sure, as much as you want to criticize Steven Zhang, he's still paying these guys a lot of money. Like, this is still a very high paid squad. Inzaghi, he's less paid than Conte, but this guy is still earning like 4.5 million net a season, which is more than Pioli, Spalletti, Sarri earn. So it's not like this is a team of paupers. So that's why you have to look at it from their perspective. And they did say last season it was different. They didn't say Scudetto last season. This year, Marotta, before the season started, he said want to be challenging for the Scudetto, and that's not happened. So
what's the solutions you're like, and who? I mean, if you think that the propaganda Marotta machine is spinning in the background, do you think there's any substance to the Simeone rumors? Would you take him in? I mean, I know besides Antonio Conte, if you really want a drill sergeant to make sure no one steps out of line, he's probably your guy. But I have watched a lot of Atletico Madrid under Simeone, and I got to say, it is ugly. It is horrible.
Bring that terrorism.
I know you love the terrorism. And you know what? I'm a non-terrorism fan pre-Conte, but under Conte,
anti-Al-Qaeda.
That's it, bro. That's it. But, so many times under Inzaghi, I can never celebrate until I see the final whistle and the players shaking hands. And I remember doing live watch-alongs and during the COVID period. I'm like, man, I was never worried. Minute 75, I'm not worried. We haven't scored yet. I'm not worried. Someone's going to score. And if they don't, Matteo Darmian's going to score anyway. So I am calm, brother. I am calm. And I just feel like if there's going to be anyone that we have to go for, it has to be primarily for psychological reasons, because you are not going to find a manager available at the moment that is going to play an attractive brand of football like Inzaghi does with this team. He's progressed this team enough to play front foot football. And at the end of the day, if you want to get used to teams like Sassuolo, Monza, and Empoli getting 62% possession over us, then yeah, let's go for terrorism football and let's win the game 1-0 or 2-0. But it's going to be tough, man.
No,
I
the
don't really want
Simeone
to
thing,
have
I
this
don't. I
conversation.
just don't see it. I just don't see the Simeone thing. Like financially, even if he takes a pay cut, it's still not enough. He has to take a pay cut and then take another pay cut on the pay cut to be able to afford him, and then we have to let him invest into the team. So it's just way too unrealistic. Which is why, like, when we play Porto, bro, I want you to look at that Porto team, because I've been talking about Conceição. Like, he's like Simeone light, basically. He's the little Simeone, like what, like, just Audi Simeone, whatever. I don't know what the off-brand supermarket is over in Australia. What's like the cheap supermarket?
Like the cheap cola you're talking about?
Yeah, like that. Like, you've got the high-end supermarket, and then you got the cheap grocery one.
Yeah, we don't have our own bootleg. We just import the crap, like the LA Ice or like the bootleg cola and stuff like that, bro. But yeah, definitely not
bootleg.
Bootleg
Simeone, then let's just say
bootleg
that.
Simeone.
So I feel like he's that guy, and like, people say that personality, that the dictator vibe coach that clearly this spoiled ass team needs. Like, we've been talking about, like, this arrogant, spoiled bunch of guys that we support on a weekly basis. They need someone like that. That's been proven now with Inzaghi. This, like, 2 seasons of him, we know that's basically, they have to have someone screaming and shouting at them. But there's one thing I really want to talk about before you leave, bro, because Jono talked about it. Some Jat here, Milan fan even mentioned it.
Hi, Jat.
So I mean, once again, it's a rumor, and once again, one source talking about it. I've actually heard of Il Giornale, which is the source that talked about it today, Milan-based newspaper. So I can't even comment on how the reliability of this source is.
So who are these guys? Who are these Americans, man? Like, have they named themselves? Is there any sort of background information, or is it literally a rumor that a random American fund? We'll look it up.
Well, if you so I've been reading, like, on, obviously this is like Twitter rumors, and so there was a while back, there was this guy here, the Milwaukee Bucks owner, Mark Lazary. He was rumored, if you remember, a few months ago, but then they quickly denied it. But there's been a weird partnership, Anthony, with like the Bucks. I remember there was that Giannis guy that came to the stadium, the basketball player, the Greek guy who plays for these guys. And then Inter were doing videos with these guys. And then this guy, Lazary, is looking to sell his stake now in Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million. And people are kind of putting two and two together and saying maybe he's putting, funds together to bid for Inter. Because the rumor that talks about the unnamed American fund talks about by the end of, or like in the summer, so not right now. So the timing seemed to kind of overlap. And he isn't just Mark Lazary, he is with the fund that I forgot what the fund is called, the one he runs or is part of. So I mean, I've been saying it for a while. If it's going to be, it's not going to be, it doesn't look like it's going to be the Arabs or the Qataris or the Saudis, like some people were saying. I think it's going to be Americans. But yeah, this is as far as we know. We don't know. What do you think?
Well, it all depends on if someone's going to take over 51% or if they're just going to put in a minority stake to be part-time owners with the club, which is, I think, what Steven really wants. Steven still wants control of this club whilst also knowing that I need some money, I need some investments, I need a partner in a way. I can't steer this ship on my own. It's sinking with me in charge. So I need someone to keep it afloat, just to fix it a little bit. So if we can get any sort of investment, it'll be good. But at the same time, the whole idea the best idea would be, like, we know that Steven and the Zhang and the Suning regime can offer nothing. So I don't think it's fair to put that sort of pressure on a minority shareholder to come in and go, hey, can you pump $500 million into the club just to make sure we stay competitive while the Chinese keep the ownership?
No one's going to invest minority into this, like, loss-making business, man. We're losing 10 million a month.
Yeah, we're losing a lot of money, bro. So it has to be a majority takeover, and I don't know if it really is just a front for the Oak Tree loan to be paid off or whatnot. But I'll take anybody besides Zhang at this point, man. I thought that it couldn't get worse at the end of last season, and now we're in this nightmare fairy tale where he's cracking jokes at Christmas parties and stuff like that. Nothing is going to surprise me anymore. So it needs to change. It needs to change on the ASAP, because we've just gone through a January mercato where you could have asked any Inter fan on December 31st and we would have put our bank accounts, houses on the table and gone, we will not sign anybody. We are 100% sure of it. We are going into the next summer window and we are doing damage control again. We're going back almost 2 years now when we're doing Twitter spaces talking about how, all right, Marotta, I guess it's good damage control to get Dzeko in for Lukaku. All right, I guess 12 mil for Dumfries is good. Jesus Christ, bro, it's 2023 and we're about to go into another major market going, how are we going to survive this? It has to end. We can't keep going through this anymore, Zil, because if, I'm waking up and shaking my head at rumors of even Onana leaving, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but that just stinks. It stinks from an image point of view. You don't sign a goalkeeper like Onana and go, God, we need money so bad that we're just going to ship you off. If they even think about touching one of Barella, Bastoni, and Di Marco, the entire city of Milan is going to cave in. Name any other club on planet Earth that has 3 starters, 3 patriots of their own country that were born and bred and raised in households that support that club. This is a luxury that some clubs would wish for decades, and we're just lucky enough to have it at the worst time possible. So yeah, it's hard. It's very hard to put it in words, eh?
No, it is true. But the saying, like, to the point that you're saying, like, if they sell Di Marco, Barella, or Bastoni, I've seen Lukaku being sold and a little poster being put up on Inter HQ, bro. And I've seen Hakimi leave. I've seen Conte leave. Like, it doesn't feel like, unless things really start to go bad on the pitch, like is happening at Valencia. Until then, I don't see like some sort of like revolution or like some sort of revolt happening from the fans. And tomorrow, by the way, I heard there's a sold out San Siro once again.
This club, bro, this ownership, they need to count their lucky stars every day. It's one of the most beautiful fan bases in the world. Foolish sometimes, yes, but exceptionally brave, man.
Yeah,
courageous.
And to answer Indra's question, like you see more and more American funds investing in Serie A because they feel like it's an undervalued asset, and it's good. I'm actually quite happy that Americans are coming in to Serie A. I think now it's majority, or it's going to be majority American owned, if not by the end of this year. So that is going to bring about a lot of change in like Serie A, just like the way it's run. Because these guys they're gonna bring their capitalistic, whatever you want to call it, corporate, but they're gonna bring things that are gonna move Serie A forward. So it's good for the good of Serie A.
100%.
Yeah. So you if you want to buy a Premier League team, it's gonna cost you 3 or 4 billion, whereas you buy a Serie A team, cost you a third of that, a fourth of that. So that's why they're investing here. But they probably see some form of potential in the future.
Well, at the end of the day, I know the money is where the EPL is. But if you ask anybody over the age of 21 with money, or even 25 with money, I'm sure and these people with money are a lot older. I'm sure they're still much more attracted to the idea of buying a club like Inter than they are to buying a club like Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. Although if I had money, I would buy Nottingham Forest.
Oh yeah, straight. The cash machine, bro. My guy, it's been really, really enjoyable, but I got to head off. I got things to do on this Saturday, but man, it was
thank
good
you for
to
joining
see
me, man.
Anytime, bro. So good to see you, and thanks to everybody in the chat. It was really, really fun, and yeah, bro, I'll be there watching your match reaction, and we'll see what happens at 6:45 in the morning tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely great.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to Inter Worldwide, guys, and Anthony at Anthony Priv on Twitter.
Thank you, brother. Ciao.
Hey, we got even Serie A sit down in the house. Make sure you guys check them guys out as well. Always awesome content podcasts for total Serie A coverage. So make sure you guys check them out. But yeah, I'm going to be leaving soon as well. So drop your match predictions in the comments right now. Yeah, it looks like the Qataris are buying Man United. So yeah. Things are happening, but not for us. So many clubs have been put on sale after us, but they get sold so much quicker. Because 1.2 billion or whatever Steven Zhang's asking for is too much. But yeah, drop your comments in now. So before we leave, I think, as Anthony said, 2-1 win with this kind of lineup. Brozovic returning, De Vrij in there. I'd probably start Dumfries as well. Like I do, yeah. We need to like start playing Dumfries if we do want to sell him. Like get his price back up. It would be good to see a Lukaku go. I mean, I struggle to see him scoring as team like Udinese, like a gritty team with Becao at the back, Bijol, you know, gritty defenders. Maybe he'll get an assist. I can see him and Lautaro linking up for a goal, but Lautaro scoring, but not Lukaku scoring. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mahdi here. I'm gonna say if Dumfries start, I'm gonna see a Dumfries goal. I don't know why. I feel like it. And then one of De Vrij or Bastoni. I don't know. I'm feeling a centre back goal, a random centre back goal. Oh yeah, Lauti just got engaged. Let's see. Oh yeah, he got engaged, and he's also got another baby on the way. So usually for Inter players, that usually means a spurt of form. But we also know that maybe this is Laufato form coming in, or Fartaro. You know, he's hit the good patch, and now maybe we're looking at his negative patch coming in. Oh yeah, Lukaku penalties. That's one thing I was hyped for before the season started. That finally we get a proper penalty taker coming in, 100% record. So that would be nice. We haven't had a penalty in a little while as well. So hopefully we get that. But thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you all. So I'm going for a 2-1 victory for Inter. And let's see if we are correct tomorrow. Make sure Mohamed Inter are playing tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in. Post-match reaction tomorrow, as always. Ciao ragazzi. Always, Forza Inter. And leave a thumbs up.